Speech on.
Hey gamers, my name is Jenna and welcome back to BattleFruit. I just got us a list of levels to see where we are.
Play BattleFruit. But 28. New recipe. Close. 28. 27. Perfect. 28.
We are on 28.
Give up. Start. Button. Recipe 28. Chef Angel vs. Race Cannelloni. Sweet honey and pear. Pear with orange and watermelon. Ice cube 2. Tongue 1. Blender 2. Spoon 1. Knife 2. Push shake to shuffle your fruits. And start when ready. Water A1. Recipe 20. Shot. Shake your board. Shake your board. Start. Button. Start. Chef starts the game. Good luck. Your turn. B1, A9, button, A3, A2, A1, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at C3. Race's turn. Race uses blender and misses. Your turn. A2, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at B3. Catches orange wedge. Race's turn. Race uses tongue and misses. Your turn. A3, knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses knife and hits fruit at I2. Your turn. A4, cap A. Water A7. W. C4 miss. Give up. But cap G. A2 miss. A3 miss. A4 out. A5 out. A6 out. A7. Knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. A8. Button. Knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. A9. Knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses knife and hits fruit at C7. Your B1, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at D3. Race's turn. Race uses blender and hits fruit at H7. Your turn. B2, knife. B3 orange wedge. B4 miss. B5, button, knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. 1. Race uses spoon and misses. Locates one part of fruit around F4. Your turn. B6 miss. B7 miss. B8 miss. B9 miss. But C1. But knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at D2. E3. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. Your turn. C2 miss. But C3 orange. C4 miss. C5 miss. C6 miss. C7. But knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses fork and hits fruit at H2. Your turn. C8. But knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses fork and hits fruit at G2. Catches watermelon wedge. Your turn. C9, knife. Opponent's game. D1 out. D2 fruit hit. D3 fruit hit. D4, button, knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. Your turn. D5, but, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at F3. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. Your D6, knife. Chef uses knife and hits ice cube at D6. Race's turn. Race uses fork and hits fruit at D7. Chef is frozen. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. Your D7 miss, D8 miss, D9 out, but E1 out, but E2, button, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at E2, catches half pear. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. Your turn. E3 half pair caught. E4 miss. Button. E5 miss. E6. But knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. Your E7 miss. Knife. E8 miss. But E9 out. F1 out. F2 miss. But F3 half pair. F4. Button. Knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at G3. Race's turn. Race uses fork and hits fruit at G3. Your turn. F5. Button. Knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at H7. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. What? Your turn. Arsenal. H5. Button. C5 miss. G5. Button. G2. G1. F8 miss. Button. F7. F6 F5 miss. F4 miss. But F3 half pair. F6 miss. F7 miss. F8 miss. F9 out. G1 out. G2 miss. But G3 fruit hit. But G4. But knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at H3. Hits ice cube at I2. Race's turn. Race uses fork and hits fruit at D8. Chef is frozen. Race's turn. Race uses fork and hits fruit at H8. Catches orange wedge. Your G5. Knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at I7. Catches orange wedge. Race's turn. Race uses fork and misses. G6 miss. Button. G7. Knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Race's turn. Race uses fork and hits fruit at H3. Catches orange wedge. Your G8 miss. G9 out. Cap H1 out. H2 miss. H3 fruit hit. H4. Button. Knife. Window. Results.
Alright, I won that one.
Back. Battle. Highlight to search. Ask. Button. Image can. Bottom right. Bottom crop handle. Close. Markup. Share. Done. Button. Dismiss. Save to photos. Save to photos. Button. Dismiss. Next. Button. Next. 29. New recipe. Start. Button. Recipe 29. Chef Angel vs. White Cannelloni. Delicious sip of green grapes. Green grapes with raspberry, blackberry and passion fruit. Ice cube 3. Tongue 2. Blender 4. Spoon 1. Knife 2. Push shake to shuffle. Water A1. Recipe. Shop. Shake your board. Shake your board. Start. Start. Chef starts the game. Good luck. Your turn. A1. Button. Nuts. D1 out. Button. A2. Button. A1. Knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at A1. Catches half passion fruit. White's turn. White uses blender and hits fruit at C4. D4. Hits ice cube at E2. Catches some blackberries. Your turn. A2. Knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at C4. White is frozen. Your turn. A3. Knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at B4. Catches raspberries. White's turn. White uses blender and hits fruit at G7. Catches half passion fruit.
They're catching up.
Your turn. A4. Cap A. A5 out. A6. Knife. Chef uses knife and misses. White's turn. White uses spoon and misses. Locates 0 parts of fruits around G2. Your turn. A7. Knife. Chef uses knife and misses. White's turn. White uses tongue and misses. A8. Knife. Chef uses knife and misses.
Of course she missed.
White's turn. White uses tongue and misses. B1, button, knife. Chef uses knife and misses. White's turn. White uses knife and misses. B2 miss, knife. B3 miss, button. B4 B5, but, knife. Chef uses knife and misses. White's turn. White uses blender and hits fruit at B6, B7, C. Your turn, Arsenal. Tongue fit, your turn, Arsenal. A5 out, button. D5 miss, B5 miss, B6 miss, button. B4 raspberries, B7 miss, B8 miss. Opponent's game, C1, but, knife. Chef uses knife and misses. White's turn. White uses fork and hits fruit at C5. Your C2 miss, C3 miss, C4 C5 miss, C6 miss, knife, C7 miss, C8 miss, D1 out, but, D2 miss, D3 miss, D4, button, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at E5, F6, hits ice cube at D4. White's turn. White uses fork and misses. Chef is frozen. White's turn. White uses fork and misses. Your D5 miss, button. D6, but, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at E6. White's turn. White uses knife and hits fruit at A1. Your turn. D7, button, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at F5, hits ice cube at D7. White's turn. White uses fork and misses. Chef is frozen. White's turn. White uses fork and hits fruit at B5, catches green grapes.
Don't eat me!
D8 out, D7 miss, E1 out, but, E2, but, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at F3. White's turn.
No!
Results. Next, button.
Try this one more time.
29. New Start, button. Recipe 29. Chef Angel vs. Best Zucchini. Delicious sip of green grapes. Green grapes with raspberry, blackberry and passion fruit. Ice cube 3. Tongue 2. Blender 4. Water 8. Green grapes 8. Recipe 20. Shop. Shake your board. Button. Shake your board. Shake your board. Start. Start. Best starts the game. Good luck. Best's turn. Best uses knife and misses. Your B1 button. Give up. Tutor A1 knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Best's turn. Best uses tongue and misses. Your turn. A2 knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at C4. Best's turn. Best uses blender and hits fruit at C5. Hits ice cube at C6. Catches half passion fruit. A3 knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at B4. C5. Catches raspberries. Best is frozen. Your turn. Arsenal. Tongue 50. A4 cap A. A5 out. A6 but knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at C6. Best's turn. Best uses fork and misses. Your A7 knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at C7. Best's turn. Best uses blender and hits fruit at E2, E3. Your turn. A8 button knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at C8. Hits ice cube at A8. Best's turn. Best uses tongue and hits fruit at F1, F2, F3. Catches green grapes. Chef is frozen. Best's turn. Water A1. Best uses knife and hits ice cube at G3. Your turn. Arson. B6 miss. B5 button. B4 raspberry. B5 knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at D5. Catches some blackberries. Best is frozen. Your B6 miss. B7 miss. B8 miss. Opponent's C1 but knife. Chef uses knife
No,
and hits
not
ice
the
cube at
cubes.
C1. Best's turn. Best uses fork and misses. Chef is frozen. Best's turn. Best uses fork and misses. C2 but knife. Chef uses knife and misses. Best's turn. Best uses fork and misses. Your C3 miss, but C4 raspberries caught, C5 some black, C6 fruit hit, C7 fruit hit, C8 fruit hit, D1 out, but D2 miss, but D3 miss, D4, but knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at D6. Best's turn. Best uses fork and misses. Your turn. D5 some blackberries, D6 fruit hit, D7, knife. Chef uses knife and hits fruit at D7. Catches green grapes. Best's turn. Best uses fork and misses. Your D8 out, button, E1 out, button, E2, button, knife. Window. Results. Alert, close, button, image canvas, BattleFruit. Image can, bottom right, bottom crop handle, markup, share, done, button. Copy, save to photos, save to photos, dismiss.
Okay. That's gonna end this video. I guess you can say it was nothing but knife. So, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.
Control center, timer, camera, time, flash, select, focus, selected.